And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. A kind of new, different kind of video, never done this one kind of before. We're going to be doing a live press conference reaction video. One thing I've realised about Rangers, for some reason they don't do their sort of press conferences live, and it takes a little while for their videos to come up basically. And I just felt we could do something a little bit different here on the channel. And play around with it. Oh, am I live? Oh, no, I'm not live. There we go, 2 seconds. Right, I think that's okay. I don't know what happened there. 2 secs, guys. I think I'm back. Am I live again? Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that, troops. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Just a little dodgy connection. However, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. Please do hit the old like button and subscribe and all that good stuff. Yeah, basically going to be trying something a little bit different on the channel. One thing that I've noticed about Rangers over the last few, well, ever since they sort of doing press conferences, they never do them live for some weird reason. So they never do live sort of press conferences. So you have to wait, I don't know, a half an hour or something like that until the video comes out. But they do provide updates in sort of transcripts. So I thought we could make a little series, maybe where we come on, speak about the game live and provide you an update with Michael Beale and what the players saying. Of course, Cyril Dessers is coming on today to speak about bits and pieces. So I just figured, you know, why not spend a bit of time together and we'll go through what Michael Beale is saying, give you instant updates so you don't have to wait for the video if you like, and go through what Cyril Dessers is saying as well. There is a bit of news ahead of the game as well, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, with regards to Yanis Hadji, Matondo and the European squad, which we'll go through in a moment. But guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game tomorrow. Are you confident for Rangers or are you not? But do hit the old like button, guys. Let's try to get to 100 likes on this kind of new live streams series. Yes, let's go through the latest news of what's here. We're probably going to get a bit more news with regards to that from Michael Beale a bit later on. However, the press conference starts at 2:30, so we will be going through it in a few moments. But as I said, there is some big news with regards to the European squad, and basically Davies and Matondo have been brought in, and it looks as though Yanis Hadji has also been taken out, which probably does spell the end of his career at Rangers. Like, why would he be taken out of the European squad unless it was something bad? Hadji and Yilmaz have been taken out. So I'm looking at Yilmaz's situation. Is that because he's injured or whatever? I don't know. But Hadji being taken out is a very strange one. Of course, his comments at the weekend probably suggested. So he probably said something that Bill didn't like. I'm not sure what he said that was so bad. Personally, I didn't think anything was rude. I didn't think he was bad at all, but that probably did spell the end for his Rangers career, unfortunately, just the way it's kind of panned out for him, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, that's the update on the European squad. Ben Davies comes in, so does Rabbi Matondo, and Yanis Hadji and Yilmaz are going to be out. So not a positive there at all for Yanis. However, we'll probably get answers in literally around 10 minutes time as Michael Beale and Cyril Dessers address the media, of which we'll be providing you instant updates here on this live stream. So yeah, bits and pieces to discuss. There's quite a lot to go through before the actual game itself. A huge game in all essence. You know, Rangers going to be trying to go out the blocks and try and not necessarily go out the blocks, but try and win this game. It's a game that has a lot of prizes to it. You know, a big carrot dangling down for Rangers in terms of the Champions League riches and everything that comes along with it, the prestige, and the chance to play in pot 3 in the Champions League is also is a big thing for Rangers. So hopefully, as I say, we'll see as time goes on into this game what we're going to sort of get, but. You know, if you were a betting man, would you bet on us to get through to the Champions League? I don't know. I'm not too sure, really. I'm still not overly convinced by our performances as of late. However, as time goes on, I think we are going to get better and better as the sort of season progresses. But maybe this game has just come a bit too soon. I don't think we were that convincing enough against Servette to warrant ourselves a win. However, having said that, last year, you know, we lost to Union Saint-Gilles in the third qualifying round. We had some dodgy league games games as well under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, and we still beat PSV. So sometimes I do think Rangers are suited to the better sides, the bigger challenges. So certainly over the next, well, over tomorrow we'll find out. But we need to hear about the big news a bit later on, of course, with regards to Yanis Hadji, what's happening with him. Of course, been omitted from the squad, and we'll probably see some transfer news soon after, you know. It's very rare to see a manager sort of omit a player out of a European squad unless there was an injury taking place. But of course, his comments at the weekend there after the game against Morton provoked him. I think he said, whilst players aren't performing, it's good to take your chance and get in there, work hard whilst players aren't performing, which I don't think is a bad thing to say. I don't think that's a bad thing. You want that from your players. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong in terms of the players not performing. I mean, players in his position weren't exactly lighting up the game and weren't lighting things up within that. So it's something that we need to watch and see. But I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why Michael Beale's gone down that route and taken him out the squad. I don't think it's completely fair, but something that's I'm sure we'll get answers to in around 5 minutes' time. So, interesting indeed. But Rangers fans, do let me know your thoughts down there in the old comment section below with regards to Yanis Hadji. Do you think his time at Rangers is over? Do you think he's done as a Rangers player after being omitted from the squad? And what have your thoughts been on Yanis Hadji? You know, he signed a contract at the back end of last season. Is he a player that should be given a chance under Michael Beale? Do you think Beale is being very unfair with the player? Again, I don't think anyone's been lighting up the division, lighting up the team necessarily out of our players. So for him not to be in the squad does kind of confuse me a little bit. I don't know. And his comments at the weekend I didn't think was bad. But, you know, maybe other people would say something different on that one. Viewer has said, hi Dan, dropped you a DM on to help you stream quality and stuff. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I think I know what the problem is. It's not my, sorry for the stream quality. It will get better over time. I don't think it's nothing to do with my Wi-Fi or anything like that. What it is to do with is my encoder. I'm using my MacBook and it's very bad for like sort of streaming on, I think. And I can't really do it in high quality. So I need to buy like a graphics card or something like that. But if you guys have more knowledge on that one, you guys can help me out by going to Instagram and just drop me a message or something helping me out. But we are back with more live streams tomorrow, of course, guys, as Rangers take on a PSV, a huge game. Really looking forward to that one. But are we going to win, guys? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'm just waiting for, of course, the press conference to start, and we'll provide you the instant updates as the press conference goes on. As I said, Rangers don't live stream their press conferences. They usually do the press conference. They provide sort of text updates, but the actual video itself isn't published for like another hour afterwards. So why not keep up to date with everything now and just sit and see if we can get it. He got rid of Sakala, now potentially losing a good player in Hadji. If we go out the Champions League and lose to Celtic, he should be sacked, sick of his excuses of how he talks. I've seen a lot of Rangers fans being a bit pissed off of the way Michael Beale is operating. I think he's, everyone's kind of getting pissed off with the way he's talking. As I said, I think Beale's got a lot of credit in the bank with me, to be perfectly honest. I'm quite a fan of him, but you know, I think he's good, but I can see a lot of fans being pissed off with him for whatever reason. So, that's quite an interesting one to watch upon. James Perry says, I think Beale is the man. Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry. Wout. Wasn't there a rumour at PSV wanted him? I don't think so. I don't think... The thing is with Hadji, I think he's a decent player, but I don't think he's going to go to that level, you know, PSV. I think Rangers is kind of his level, you know, despite his father's career and stuff like that. I don't see him going right to the top of football, to be honest with you. But he's a good player for us. I think he's decent. I think he was very inconsistent for majority of the time. So I do think he was a good player, but yeah, very, very inconsistent. Yes, I can see you. Good to see General Jamie James. Hope you're well. Matondo is all pace and no end product, just a younger Sakala. His fine ball or decision making is very poor. Again, a lot of fans starting to get a liking Matondo. Obviously, he's been put into the European squad for a reason. Obviously, probably maybe having second thoughts with regards to him. Again, I haven't seen anything that crazy that would demand that, but I hope for any Rangers player, I always, of course, want them to start getting good and start materialising as a better player. Of course, I want to see that. People do like Beale. I think Beale's okay. I like Beale. But obviously, everything's going to be determined on what he wins and stuff like that. We'll certainly see. We'll see over time. But yeah, it's a bit of a random time. 2:30. Whacking out the old live stream, which is good. 2 secs. But then again, everyone keeps saying that we need to win our first games first, or the games we need to win. We need to win the game at Ibrox tomorrow. But actually, remember, we got a 2-2 draw, and we all kind of thought it was the end of the world, didn't we? And then we ended up winning the game away from home. Antonio Scholak, the man that came up with it good. So hopefully, as I said, we can get stuff done, but time will certainly tell. How long did it take to get a team to gel? Celtic hit the ground running. How come we can't? I don't think Celtic hit the ground running. Are you on about Ange Postecoglou, or are you talking about Brendan Rodgers? Because he didn't hit the ground running under Ange Postecoglou. They went out of the Champions League. They almost went out of the Europa League, and then they of course lost to Hearts in the first game of the season. So. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily would agree with that comment, but yeah, I mean, I think it is going to take time for our players to gel. We are under a new system, but then again, you have to look at some of the other Scottish teams within the division. Kilmarnock have had 8 first team players come in, and they are a completely different team. So yeah, I mean, they've got no excuse. They've beat Celtic and they've beat Rangers, and they also got a draw at Tynecastle as well. They're doing pretty well, to be fair, Kilmarnock. So time will certainly tell what happens with them. But guys, we're about 2 minutes away from the press conference starting. As I say, our updates will be on their way. Of course, we need to find out the big news with regards to the big man. That, of course, being Yanis Hadji. The breaking news this afternoon is that he has been omitted from the squad. So we'll find out what the big man says. Beale says, and as I said, his time at Rangers could be over. Guys, if you haven't already hit the like button, please consider doing so. As I said, let's try and get this to 50 likes. Why not? Let's try and get to 50 likes. I would play repeat down one Matondo down the other side. Thank you, General Jamie. Obviously, that's not true, ladies and gentlemen. I've actually got a girlfriend. Nice one, though. Won't need to keep sacking managers if the board did their job properly instead of bringing in the cheap option. Where is it being aired? It doesn't get aired, guys. It gets they provide text updates. It doesn't get aired. It's obviously starting at 2:30. I will provide you updates as the day goes on. There is tickets available for the game tomorrow, by the way, if you haven't already bought your tickets for the match. I think you can buy it if you're a My Jers member. But anyway, guys, I think, as I said, the media or the press conference is about to start. And I'll bring you updates as they come through. But of course, we are awaiting the big news with regards to Yanis Hadji. Do let me know your thoughts on that one down there in the comment section, guys. What did you think about the whole Yanis Hadji situation? Do you think he should stay? Do you think he's being unfairly treated? Of course, being omitted from the squad. And do you think that spells his time, really? Thank you, Jamie, mate. Thank you. If I ever think about that, then I'll remember your quote there, buddy. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I think we're just waiting for it to start. As I said, updates will follow very, very soon. Let's see who Rangers get. Press conference. Sorry, in my mind I've been doing the live draw. Obviously, yesterday Rangers got Livingston, big one there, decent tie there, home tie. I'm surprised the conspiracy theories haven't started amongst Scottish football. 2 home games in a row for Rangers, but definitely our cup to win. That one's definitely our cup to win. I'm going to the game with my son. We are in BF1. Nice one, mate. I hope you enjoy that one. Good fun. It's a good game. It's always, I like going to the qualifier games. Rangers always stack the numbers in there for the qualifier games. I always find it different though, because if you look at like the archives and stuff, like third qualifying rounds and playoff rounds back in like the 90s, they weren't as packed. I think Rangers fans expected the club to get into the group stages every year. So yeah, the qualifier games were never packed. If you actually look at the like highlights of the games, they're always very empty. I saw Cantwell was laughing at Celtic for losing. I feel like he shouldn't be doing that and just focus on Rangers. Yes. Why has Hadji been dropped? We're going to find out about that in a minute, mate. We're waiting for the press conference to start. As I said, the updates will follow in a moment. Of course, here they are now. As I said, live updates to follow. Michael Beale has arrived, and Cyril Dessers is the man who is going to be addressing. They're going to be addressing the media, and as I said, the press conference is literally about to start. And I'll give you updates as they come out of the mouths of both Michael Beale and Cyril Dessers. So, of course, the big news, of course, will be surrounding Yanis Hadji more than likely, due to him being omitted from the squad. So here we go. If you haven't already, guys, hit the like button and subscribe. Please consider doing so. Let's try and get this to 50 likes, and also we're well on our way to 26,000 subscribers again. Bill doesn't know what he's doing. We need Souness in there to help him. I mean, Souness is a bit older now. I mean, 70, is he? I don't think he's going to be going back into management. Do you mean like as a sporting director? Here we go. Michael Beale will be here to address the media. Think Hadji is better than some in our squad? I think so as well. But then again, we got time with regards to the other players. Are they going to be good enough as time goes on? Who knows? Who knows? I'm not sure of our team at the moment. Do you still feel that Rangers need to make more additions in the transfer window? Yes or no? Matondo redemption begins. Oh, did you hear the news this morning that Rangers had the chance to sign Ivan Toney? It looked like we chose Cedric Itten over Ivan Toney. Interesting stuff there. Madness. Right, let's have a little look and see. Here we go. Nope, we've got no update yet. I'm waiting for it. Everyone's anticipating the update from why Yanis Hadji's been dropped. People are not happy. We'll see what he's got to say with regards to it. That breaks my heart, the Toney news. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, no, I mean, he's a good player, but there's also going to be those players. You always hear stories over the years of like players that could have signed for the club. But imagine that, Alfredo Morelos and Ivan Toney up front. Anyway, guys, here we go. So, as I said, Michael Beale has stated Ben Davies and Rabbi Matondo have come back into the European squad. There is no issues with Yanis Hadji. He did well when he played at the weekend. In terms of an actual explanation, he's not really gave us the explanation. He just said there's no issues with the player. He did well when he played at the weekend. So he's stating that there's nothing wrong with that fact. He's also said Tillman, he spoke about Tillman, of course, the introduction that Tillman will be playing for PSV. He's in their European squad, so will be playing against Rangers more than likely. And he gave his thoughts on that and said that Malik Tillman was fantastic for Rangers and we wish him well outside of these games. But the big point, as I said, no issue. So why has he dropped Hadji out of the European squad? I think that's a bit brutal, is it not? I don't think he was that bad of a player, to be fair. Hadji. Michael Beale also said, regardless of what happens tomorrow night, we need a performance in Eindhoven. I think we are playing against probably the toughest team at this stage. I'm looking for a strong performance to set up the second leg. So not necessarily going out to win it, but wants the game to be within reach or something like that, and basically stated whatever happens tomorrow night, we need a performance in Eindhoven. I think we're against probably the toughest team at this stage. I'm looking for a strong performance to set up the second leg. He also said PSV are a very good team and have invested well. There was a lot of change in personnel in both teams to the one that faced off last year. Yeah, we did see that. I mean, last year was that situation. We did see it like that. Beale has spat his dummy out with Hadji. Yeah, possibly. I like that one. But yeah, guys, if you are just joining us, Michael Beale has said that there is no problems with Yanis Hadji, despite him being dropped out. Said he played good at the weekend, and he's not really explained as to why he's took him out of the squad. He just said there is no issues with him, and he's played well. I don't think. I mean, Beale does. He does lie a lot. He literally does lie to the media a lot of the time. So is there more than meets the eye? Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't necessarily think... I think there's a lot better players. I do think Hadjis are better than a lot of our players that are actually in this squad. So I don't necessarily agree with Beale's comments there, but yeah, it is what it is. In terms of the actual players and getting game time, Michael Beale said, all the new players are now getting game time. Jack Butland has had some big moments and the forwards have had goals and assists. We made a lot of changes and got the win at the weekend. It is a squad game and we need players to step up. So obviously talking about his rotation of the squad, basically said that he's happy with the way the players are going. You know, Jack Butland's settled in pretty nicely, and of course the forwards have came up with goals and assists. And he basically spoke for the weekend's game against Greenock Morton. He also said we have a lot of variety, which is a bonus to have when another team is looking at how we can set up. It's a big moment for our forward players, these two legs. As you can probably tell, Rangers attacking players haven't really been prolific in the games that we've played so far. I mean, there's been a lot of chances missed. You think of that Servette game, you think about some of the league games as well. We have missed a lot of golden opportunities throughout sort of this new rebuilded team. So yeah, but games against PSV, if you don't take those chances, then they're going to be issues. And we need to be making sure that we do take these chances. Otherwise, there could be a huge problem. He also said this is a fantastic opportunity for everyone at the club. The players and staff want Champions League football, but we know we have a really good team to face. Oh yeah, remember that's a good point there. Some of history repeating itself. Morelos was dropped v PSV last season. Yeah, there was always that controversy going into that game, and we thought Morelos being out of the team was bad. Ryan James says, in my opinion, Beale was not the man for the job, but no one would replace him, in my opinion. I think he can be the man for the job. We'll certainly find out over a period of time. He's also spoke about the transfer market and said, in the transfer market so far, I think we've done extremely well across the two windows. Would you guys agree with that or not? Would you guys agree that we've done well across the two windows? I think Butland definitely looks at a great signing. Todd Cantwell, Raskin, great signings as well. Cifuentes looks good also. Kieran Dow, for me, another one that's kind of flown under the radar. I've not seen enough of Dujon Sterling. I don't think I've seen enough of... Well, I've seen Sam Lammers, I've seen Dessers. They haven't really impressed me that much. Danilo, again, still early days with regards to him. Hopefully more to come for him as well, but we'll certainly see over time. Speaking to the players in the summer, the opportunity to play in the Champions League football is huge. Everyone knows this competition players want to play in. So yeah, he's just sort of speaking about the Champions League and the opportunity for everyone at the club. Rangers want to be in the Champions League. You know, the sort of rumblings on as they talk about they want to be in the Champions League. It's where we want to play. It's where we want to be playing our football. And this is what everybody's saying. Can only be grateful that Celtic look a shadow of themselves, so we got a chance. Yeah, Aldo. Well, as I said, I mean, everyone keeps on talking about sort of Rangers and their slow start, but Celtic certainly don't look like the finished article. But again, it's going to be a long season. I think there's going to be some points dropped throughout it. And to be fair, it looks like Kilmarnock could probably go on and win the league. They look quite good, actually. They actually do look pretty decent. He spoke about the opposition as well. He's been saying offensively, PSV are an excellent team. They've recruited well and have a great coach. It's also important we show our quality and hurt them in our opportunities. Well, I mean, they thrashed Storm Graz, by the way. Literally pumped them rotten. They did really, really well with Storm Graz. And yeah, I mean, we've got to be at our best against this team, because if we make some of the mistakes that we've done in some of the recent games, especially in the league, especially in the other sort of Champions League qualifiers against Servette, not taking our chances, then that's when we're going to get stung. So again, as Michael Beale has just touched upon there, offensively, PSV are an excellent side. They've recruited very well and have a great coach, but it's also important that we show our quality. I'm still yet to see some of our quality going forward. I feel like we're very good in the middle of the park. We've got a very good goalkeeper, but the rest of it's kind of disjointed. I think the fullbacks are a bit iffy, and then I also think what's his face? The attacking players aren't very prolific yet, but it's still early days, as I said. But some of the players that we've got aren't exactly got the great history with scoring goals. But we'll see. Time is still early days. What else has he gone on to say? Yeah, that's it. Just touching upon PSV there. If we were fully up to speed, I would be really confident about PSV. They're a good team. We've played and beat better. If they go through, we can see them getting pumped also. I think they're a great side. I think they are. Well, they are obviously better than us. They come from a great pedigree, but they've lost two great players since that last tie. You know, Gakpo went to Liverpool, and then Xavi Simons got he got bought back by PSG and sent on loan to RB Leipzig. So they've lost two of their best players. I do think Cody Gakpo's numbers were crazy in their first part of the season. Then you look at Xavi Simons. I think he was the top goal scorer. So they've lost them. Yes, they brought players in. Maybe Sangara has been linked to Bayern Munich as well. So we'll see. But then again, we got beat by Ajax last year. Pumped by Ajax last year twice. And that was the sort of situation where PSV were actually better than Ajax. So it could be one of them situations where we just have to watch and see and wait and see what happens. See what else Beale has said. Said any more? Hopefully we get a bit of team news. No, he's not said any more just yet. What are your thoughts on the Hadji situation? Well, Michael Beale said there's nothing wrong. He did well at the weekend. He's not done a problem. It's nothing bad with regards to him. So he said there is no issue. I definitely think there is an issue. Why would he get dropped? And I do think it's probably spelling the end of his time at Rangers, Hadji. Being disgraced like that, kind of dropped out the European squad when you're fit and firing to go, full of confidence, ready to fight for your place. That's what he did. He had fight and talk in that press conference after the game, and I don't think Beale was happy with it, unfortunately. So we'll certainly see what happens over the time, but I don't think it's necessarily good news for big Hadji fans. I think he will likely leave the club after this. But yeah, interesting. He spoke about the forward players that Rangers have just now. He said Danilo has scored goals and Dessers has goals and assists in his first few games. After not much game time in months before, they're in a new country and we need to give these guys times. Since the first game of the season, I've seen good signs from them. So he spoke about our offensive players. He's talked about our attacking players. Basically, he said, yeah, they have goals, which is true. I think Danilo's got 2 and 2. So that's not too bad. Dessers has got 2 and 3 or 4 or something like that. So he's not done too bad either. But having said that, I just feel like Des is a bit of a mess, isn't he? He's a messy player. Not as in Lionel Messi, obviously, but he's a bit... I don't know what to think of him just yet. Same with Lammers. I'm not sure what to think of our attacking players just yet. I don't think we've got necessarily an upgrade on Alfredo Morelos by any means. And Alfredo's still out there with no club, so... I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Still 10 days to go in the window. I think we need another attacking player anyway. And especially if Hadji's getting shipped out, and now with Fashion Sakala gone, I do think we definitely needed some more attacking players. I think that's a needs must. Everyone's not confident. What else he said? He went on to say about it's a big game again. He said this is a big game. It's huge for both clubs. It's important we brace and give it everything. We have a huge game at the weekend. Also, the expectation at the club is huge. We must win games every 3 days. So yeah, he's been talking about that. Talking about the importance of winning our games as they come thick and fast. Dropping Hadji like is making a statement. I think he'll be sold. Yeah, I definitely think so as well. Are we looking at a centre-back? Hopefully, I think so. Reports are stating Jake Cooper, the boy from Millwall. Whether that happens remains to be seen, but we definitely need one. Ben Davies has been brought into the team, so we'll see. I didn't think he fancied Ben Davies, did he? He likes Suter, he likes Goldson. But I think it's important to have that sort of strength and depth of defence. He's also got the big man, what's his name, Balogun as well. I think he likes Balogun. So Davies has kind of dropped down the pecking order, if you like. But I think we need another centre-back thing there. Do you trust Beale? Yeah, I trust Beale. I think I do think he's a bit of a Del boy a little bit. You know, he kind of talks the talk a bit. Yeah, I mean... It's early days. He's gained my trust from what he did in the transfer market in January with Raskin and Todd Cantwell, and then winning those games, finding ways to win. And now that he's kind of identified a team that he wants to play with, I feel like you should give him time, see what he can do with this side in general. Then after that, we'll certainly see as time goes on. But I do have it. He does have my trust. I do like him. And I think, obviously, back him, he's been heavily backed. But I think we'll get a good feeling of where we're at after that Old Firm game against Celtic. We've got the Old Firm monkey off our back from last season, but let's see what happens. Hopefully, he can walk the walk. As I said, he talks a good game, but I don't think so. He needs to back it up on the pitch and get some trophies into the cabinet, you know. He said Dessers has got a good history against PSV with his goals. I was delighted we could get him in. He had 2 or 3 months out, but is looking stronger with training every day. Do you think there'll be more signings this window? I think so. I think there has to be some more signings this window, especially getting rid of Fashion Sakala as an attacking player. I don't think we could compete on all fronts with the attacking players that we've got. I would certainly think that we need a tricky winger. I don't know, to replace Ryan Kent. I don't think we've replaced that sort of void, if you like. I know Kent didn't bring up the numbers, but he could open up games, if you like. So I do think we need to bring one of those people. Do you think we should have kept Kolak? I mean, all Kolak did wrong was score goals. I don't understand why he didn't like him. I see the managers these days, you know, I think everyone's kind of trying to be inspired by Pep Guardiola and all these managers, and you know, playing with false nines and playing with strikers that play bit in the build-up. But at the end of the day, what Sholak used to do was put the ball in the back of the net. He had a great goal-to-game ratio. Picked up an injury at the back end of Gio's tenure. I mean, yeah, I would have definitely kept him about. There was no harm in it. And as I said, he always scored goals. But it is what it is. We've stuck he's gone now. He's not part of the club, so... It is what it is, but I do think we need some more attacking players. I mean, am I confident with what we got at the moment? No, I'm not sure. He's talked about Danilo as well. He said Danilo is a really great guy and has a top personality. He has been challenging a few weeks with the move, but has settled now into his new home and can focus now on football. He's a player the fans were all excited about when linked with him. He is a dangerous player. Well, as I said, hopefully he can get another goal. He got a goal at the weekend, didn't he? Yeah, hopefully our strikers can keep scoring more goals. That's what I want, really. I want us to score more goals and hopefully see that. But as I said, Danilo, he speaks about as a really good guy. There's a bit of a Feyenoord and, well, we've got quite a Dutch contingency again, haven't we? We've got Lammers who played for PSV. Dessers played for Feyenoord. You had Danilo who played for Feyenoord. So they're up against it. Obviously, Feyenoord were the more superior team last year in the Eredivisie. So hopefully Danilo can find up his goal-scoring prowess against the Dutch side and go on and try and get the game for us. But yeah, of course, it's going to be a big ask to get us through. But we'll see what happens. As I said, Michael Beale seems confident. And by his press conference, it kind of looks like his aim is to set it up for the second leg. So whether that's a draw, he wants to be into it within the first leg, and I totally agree. But Rangers fans, that's the press conference. To conclude, there wasn't much in it really. I'm not going to lie. However, it will be published to Rangers sort of thing later, YouTube channel later. But to conclude, really, he kind of talked about Davies and Matondo back into the squad and said that there's no issues with Yanis Hadji despite him being omitted from the team. And then just talked about PSV, how they're good attacking players, and then talked about our players in terms of players need time to gel, relax, and get into it. It was nothing press conference really, I'm not going to lie, just the same stuff, but no sort of team news in terms of injuries or anything. Just the breaking news, of course, that Yanis Hadji has been omitted. So yeah, that's all I've really got for you today. And yeah, do hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.